The mics are not on. Are we on? Are we on? No mics. No mics. We have no mics. We have no. Can you hear me now? Can everybody hear me? All right, 30 seconds. We're gonna call the meeting to order in 30 seconds. At 30 seconds left. All right, we're counting down. Remember now, smile. You're gonna be in television. Are we up?
The broadcast is now starting.
Okay,
All
we're up.
attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, I'm going to call the meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Village Council meeting. It is Thursday, July 15th. I can't believe it's July 15th already. 6:30 p.m. What we normally do at the beginning of the meeting is we salute the flag. I'm going to ask us all to stand as we say a pledge of allegiance, and I'm asking you to remain standing for a moment of silence for the awful tragedy that we've experienced down in Miami that's gone on 3 weeks now, and they're still looking for people, okay? So join us in the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Okay, thank you all. You can clap now. We took that moment just in observation of the tragedy and loss of life and pain and suffering that so many people are suffering now, and it's just an awful thing to have to even experience and know about. But we all wish them well, right? To move, hopefully they can move on. Okay. So who do we have here with us tonight? Who's going to speak for you on your behalf? I understand we have softball champions in the room. Where are they? I know how thrilled and excited the parents are because I've been in your spot. I had a young son who came up through the program here in the village of Royal Palm Beach, went on to play baseball at the high school level. Traveled all over the place. You got some traveling in front of you. I just want to tell you if you haven't experienced that already, but this is a great achievement. We are so proud of these young ladies who will play softball and represent this village. And so we're glad to have you here tonight before the Village Council so we can just say thank you for your commitment and your dedication and your heart that you put into becoming champions and representing this fine village. So we applaud you. So we'd like to hear comments perhaps now. Who's the spokespersons?
Softball Commissioner Amy right here.
Amy, where are you? Didn't we speak? Come on up, Amy.
Hi, my name is Amy DiArcangelo. I am the Royal Palm Softball Commissioner, and I am the manager for the 8U team.
All right, so tell me exactly who won what. Walk us through it.
So our 8U girls, they're all standing right here. They won the Babe Ruth State Tournament in Lake City, Florida.
Wow.
And as you can see, we have a lot of the coaches standing here for our 10U and our 12U teams. Our 12U team also won first place in the Babe Ruth State Tournament. And our 10U team made semifinals.
Okay, excellent.
We also have two teams that will be headed to the World Series that's coming up soon.
Really?
We're going to, we started out, we have a small rec program. So the fact that we were able, our 8U teams, for example, we have two teams. and we combined our two teams to make an all-star team. So to go to the state,
I know that trick.
yeah, and now to be headed to the World Series is quite an honor. But we have a great organization that we're trying to build. I've actually seen you, Mayor, throw the opening pitch for us. Thank you. So
We got to get back to that, right?
yes, we're trying. I think we're going to try to have an opening ceremony this year. I hope.
Okay. So we want to do a photo op right now. How do you want to do that? You want to have all of the players together, or you want to have them broken down in your teams? How do you want to handle that?
It's probably broken down into teams.
Okay.
Just based on the numbers would be easiest.
So what
If
we
you
have,
want-
3 teams, 4 teams?
Three
3
teams.
Okay, so we'll do a photo op for each team and their coaches. Can we do that?
That'd be great.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's do it. Come on.
Want to go ahead, Ed? Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think I've ever heard this council chamber so loud.
When I walked in, bad night for hearing aids.
I know. It's amazing because it's been a long time to build this program. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
Good stuff.
It's amazing how it goes up and down in participation. I mean, this is how it goes up and down in participation. I mean, but they keep coming back. I don't know. That's where the boys is. I don't know. I don't know if there's a
Before the TV crew, I just want to make sure. What station are you? Channel 5, everyone. Okay? WPTV, right? WPTV. They're always on the spot. Thank you so much for coming this evening.
They do an 11.
Yeah, it should be on the 11 o'clock show. Yeah. Thank you so much.
11.
All right. Does anyone else want to make comments on behalf? No further comments? Well, I'd like to thank you all for coming. What we're going to do is I'm going to call a recess to this meeting to give everybody a chance to easily move out and move on to what you're going to do this evening. I know you don't want to stay for the entire meeting. Thank you. So thanks again, and we're in recess. Strategic plan. We approved the new strategic plan for the next year, and a couple other items. But the thing that I wanted to talk about is we had a presentation this morning, and it also was covered by WPTV. I haven't seen it up on the air yet. There's a new legislation that was passed, a new bill that took effect July 1, that really puts some new laws into place to make bicycling within the state of Florida safer. And we had a good presentation and good discussion on that. As I have mentioned in the past, that the TPA is putting an emphasis going forward on strongly recommending and asking from FDOT on their projects where bicycle lanes are involved to provide some protection for the bicyclists. We want to make bicycling available for the 80%, all right, the novice bicyclists, not the 10% professional bicyclists. And so it's the coincidence of this law being enacted. It was something that has been on the legislative agenda for the TPA for a few years now. To see that enacted is exciting. We're going to hear more about this. We're going to have a kind of a roadshow presentation, via video that's going to be put together. That I'm hopeful that every village council or commission in Palm Beach County can air that and share that not only with the council members, but with the community in general to learn more about this. Another aspect of this law that I find interesting is going forward, anyone who wants to get a driver's license and you have to take the driver's license test, there will be 25 new questions on that test about safe bicycling. So we need to let real folks know who are in that process that they need to study up on what the rules of the road are for bicycling now that we have this new legislation in place. So with that, Jen, we'll start with you.
Good evening. No report tonight.
Okay.
Good evening. So tomorrow we have the Florida League of Cities Legislative Policy Committee second meeting, and we're getting close to picking the top priority actions for the legislative session, which starts in January of this year. That's why we've gotten started so early. Following that, of course, will be the final approval of the priorities that are brought up by all 5 of these policy committees, and that'll take place at the Florida League of Cities annual conference, which is in Orlando from August the 12th to August the 14th. Not only will they be finalizing the legislative priorities, which basically sets the stage and gives a direction to the advocacy group that works on in Tallahassee during the sessions, but it also will provide an opportunity, of course, to bring in a new president of the Florida League of Cities, who will be Philip Walker, who's a commissioner in Lakeland, Florida. He'll be sworn in, and actually this is the first time that we'll be getting together, kind of like this experience was wonderful, having all these folks together in one place and feeling more normal than what we had been doing. So that's going to be hopefully a healthy, normal, successful experience back in August as well, going forward into the legislative season. And then finally, I want to mention something that was in the news yesterday and will be in the news for a while, I'm sure, and that is in our school district here, we have Dr. Donald Fenoy having announced the fact that he's going to be stepping down effective October. I think it's October the 11th. I'm not sure of the date.
Yes.
But the school board, of course, as you would expect, took it up as a major topic for discussion in yesterday's meeting. That was the first major discussion, public discussion that they've had, and that will continue on with a workshop that will follow sometime next week. What they'll be deciding is whether they're going to be, how they're going to approach filling the vacancy. And of course, the options are filling them internally, that is from folks who are currently in the district, going out for a nationwide recruitment, and then they'll also be talking about whether or not to appoint an interim. So there's a lot of work to be done, and I think the sense is they're going to take their time and do it right and come up with a great replacement for Dr. Fenoy, who's done a great job under some really, really difficult circumstances. So actually, he characterized his last 15 months in 3 words: stress, chaos, and 50 pounds that he lost. So I suppose there's one piece of good news in there if you were looking to lose 50 pounds, but that's a tough way to do it. So that is that's going to be happening and probably over the next 6-month period of time. And the last thing I want to mention is, of course, Feeding South Florida Wednesdays over at Commons Park continues. And one of the things we bring it up for is to say, if you all are interested in coming out, having a great experience working with Parks and Rec staff and a lot of other volunteers in Royal Palm Beach, it's a great activity. Fantastic. Just come on over to Commons Park before 8 o'clock on a Wednesday morning. We'll put you to work. You'll love it. You'll talk about it for the rest of the week, I guarantee. So, and by the way, you may notice that our electronic signboards have an invite for people to volunteer. And it looks like it's working, too, because we've already had several calls. So that concludes my report.
Okay, I think it's great that that program is still being able to continue to operate, and as long as we can keep it going. It is helping a lot of people. I understand the numbers, believe it or not, have been going up with people showing up. So it is a need, and if this can fill some need, it's a very good thing. And we really thank all of the people who volunteer their time to help with this initiative every week.
I don't really have a report, but I guess more of a reminder. I see Principal Armis in the audience this evening. School starts August 10th, and it's less than a month away. It's going to sneak up on a lot of us because, we had the longer summer last year, so don't let it catch you by surprise. My kids are, what do you mean we only have one? You got less than a month, kids. You're going back to school, so just get the word out that it's going to be gone before you know it. That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Good evening, everyone. It was very nice to see all the young ladies out here today and their coaches and parents. So it's nice to see that they're able to get through this past season with everything going on. I'd like to thank the staff. We attended the Star Spangled Spectacular event over at Commons Park. So under the circumstances that we had, they did a great job and everything out there. Also like to thank the staff, specifically the building department and P&Z, because they do a great job working with people who want to open up businesses in the village, and they're really patient, walk them through the process. A lot of the information is now on our website, but we do have great staff to help out with that. We held our budget workshop last week, which is the last one that we had. We do have 2 public hearings, and those are our budgets for the next couple of years, what we have in place and down the pipeline in the next 5 years. So our public hearings are here in the village office, the village chamber office, Wednesday, September 8th, and Thursday, September 23rd. So public input is great for those. And also we have our Citizen Summit coming up on Monday, August 30th from 6 to 8 at the Cultural Center. And if you'd like to attend, RSVP by the 12th of August to 561-790-5103. And this helps us as we put plans forward with the village. So this affects everybody, all of our residents and businesses. And then we do have concerts in the park continuing on Fridays through July at Commons Park. And tomorrow is Let It Be. So it's a Beatles tribute band. Thank you.
Tomorrow's the Beatles tribute?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I hope we have good weather.
Yes.
I wanna go for that. Okay, you done?
Yes.
Great.
No report, Mayor. Thank you.
Just very briefly, we provided the council last week with an updated legislative summary memo, and as directed, we tried to get into the details on the home-based business statute that was passed. So if any of you have any questions about that, feel free to give us a call offline. I'll be happy to discuss that, and we'll, I'm sure, be working on updating our code where it needs to be updated to.
So what you're saying is there will be some updates?
Indeed.
To be in line?
A couple.
Okay.
A couple.
We'll be waiting for those.
Yeah. And then I can see that you've all been sitting there this evening wondering why Mitty and I look a little bit smarter than we did the last time. And that is because we both attended the Florida Municipal Attorneys Association annual seminar last week.
Oh, that's what it is.
It is,
Okay,
yes.
I was wondering, yeah.
And,
We're all wondering.
To Mr. Hamara's comments, it was our first in-person seminar in 2 years. We completely skipped it last year. We had record attendance. It was here locally at the O Palm Beach in Manalapan, and the conference rooms were full. Some good presentations, and that is why.
Okay.
And that is my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, that concludes reports for this evening. At this time, is there anyone who'd like to present a petition to the council? Now would be the time. Seeing none, I'm closing the floor to any petitions. And I don't have any comment cards on items not on the agenda this evening or comment cards on the consent agenda. Is anyone out there who would like to comment? I thought it was C7. Oh, this is consent. C for consent. There you go. Okay. Broke the code. I thought it was the regular agenda item. I'm sorry. But Elizabeth Deschelle, is that pronounced that correctly? Please come on up. Okay.
Good evening. Thank you so much for giving me a few moments here. I am the co-producer of the Palm Beach Shakespeare Festival, and you will notice on consent item number 7, that is for us to bring this venerable organization out and start something brand new here for our Western communities. The Palm Beach Shakespeare Festival has operated Shakespeare by the Sea for 31 years. So we are one of the first established in actually the United States having an annual Shakespeare in the Park. We do a full-scale professional, that means everyone gets paid, production of one of Shakespeare's works. Now here in Palm Beach County, we have done this festival every summer for 2 weeks, 4 nights each time. And we have for years been asked, when are you going to bring Shakespeare by the Sea out for our Western community? And we would love to have you out in Royal Palm. I know someone has brought it up multiple times. And I'm thrilled to say that we have put together and worked with Lou and his wonderful team and Parks and Rec here, an inaugural Shakespeare by the Palms. and we are currently working on the production. We kicked off Shakespeare by the Sea in Carlin Park, Jupiter, 31 years ago with Twelfth Night. So we thought it would be fitting to bring a new, modern, every year we do a different take. We do not touch Shakespeare's text, but it might be in a different time or in a different setting. And we have an amazing director, Seth Trucks. He is, of course, the son of Butch Trucks with the Allman Brothers. And he will be directing this play and just sent me even a little clip. There will be, for the first time in the Shakespeare Festival's history, live music and musicians on stage scoring the play as it unfolds. It's a beautiful romantic comedy, a tale of a shipwreck, mistaken identity, and it's just simply a beautiful play. And we're so excited to start with the inaugural Shakespeare by the Palms. It will run for 8 nights, and our mission is to make it as accessible as possible for everyone. And we do that not only by presenting it as it was meant to be, as it was written, and that is on stage with actors who are very comfortable with the verse, but also free of charge. So we never have charged an admission, and we're very appreciative of the partnership that enables us to bring this to the public for free. We are completely donation-based, and we are very, very grateful for the opportunity of bringing this out to our Western community. It only took 30 years. Thank you.
Thank you.
This, one question. Yeah. There might be a couple of questions. It's 8 consecutive nights?
Not consecutive.
Oh, okay.
So it runs Thursday through Sundays.
Okay.
And also to make it accessible, it's bring your beach chair, your blanket, your picnic basket. I know Lou has got his own connections with food trucks, so those will be available.
I'm sure there'll be food trucks there. Yeah.
I love it. Normally it's me that has to find, would you come out here to a venue where we allow coolers? Yeah, so I'm excited. Any other questions?
Actually, yes, and we have been talking about it for a while, so thank you, Councilwoman Radusky, for bringing it up, but thank you very much for coming out there. So we are, I just had a question, is it, are the performances rain or shine?
It is rain or shine, but we do have, over all these years of doing this in the summer, a plan in place. We have our own safety measures that are set up. If it looks like that rain isn't going to stop, we call the show. If there is lightning, we ask everyone to please
Find shelter.
I'm sorry?
Okay, I'm sorry.
A safe environment, if it's within a certain mileage range. We're very used to, I mean, most of us are Florida natives, but we do events outdoors. So it is rain or shine, yes. But not to their safety. Right. Any other questions? I'm thrilled to talk about it, and I'm excited, but.
Yeah.
Not a question,
No
but
questions?
just a comment. The residents have been to me talking about this opportunity and this exciting piece of work coming to Royal Palm, and I couldn't be more thrilled. You all do a fantastic, amazing, brilliant job.
You know what it takes to do.
I do. And so just credit to you and break a leg.
Thank you. And I have to say, the current Shakespeare by the Sea is running now. And when the pre-recorded announcement that lists the upcoming dates and the inaugural production, there are cheers. There are so many people that come, not just from Miami and as far north as Melbourne for this every year, but they come from the Western community, and they're so happy to have it in their backyard.
I don't know if you said it earlier, but just I want to make sure it's on the record. What are the dates?
It is August 19th through the 29th. And that's Thursdays through Sundays only during that time range.
Thank you very much.
And
Very well.
did you say, Elizabeth, what the play is right now up in Jupiter? Because it's not the same.
No, we are
It's not the same.
staging a whole brand new in every way production for Royal Palm. Right now, the current production is A Midsummer Night's Dream, which we did virtually last year. And we were not about to do the same. So while maybe in the future it would be more economical and good to go consecutive, But this year, no, we wanted a brand new everything for what we hope to be an annual tradition here in Royal Palm.
Well, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Now, as mentioned, we do have Principal Almos with us. I didn't know if you wanted to comment or.
I was going to go ahead and pull an item and then ask Principal Armas to provide a little context for the consent agenda item.
Yeah, but the item you're pulling is not his.
No, it is number 4, which talks
pulling
about
number
Royal Palm Beach High School.
Oh, you wanted to pull it for discussion.
For discussion, I was going to ask him to provide the
Aren't you
context.
pulling another item? 2 items?
Yes,
Okay.
I could pull 2 tonight.
Okay. We're not used to having people here with us, obviously. I mean, over the last year and a half.
Don't mind us while we talk among ourselves up here and try to figure it out.
Okay. All right, then with that, Diane, please present the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mayor. Number 1, approval of the minutes of the council regular meeting of June 17th, 2021. 2, approval and authorization for the mayor to execute a second addendum to traffic control jurisdiction agreement between SHOMA at Royal Palm Condo Association and the Village of Royal Palm Beach. 3, approval and authorization in accordance with established policy to make a budget amendment for Fund 303 in the fiscal year 2020-2021 budget. Said amendment to transfer a total of $8,000 from Bike Trail Aggregate PR 2108 to Home Place Gazebo PR 2112. 4, approval and authorization to issue the Royal Palm Beach High School a grant equal to the rental cost for the use of the Cultural Center's Grand Ballroom, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Saturday, March 12, 2022, to hold a banquet in commemoration of the school's 25th anniversary. 5, tentative adoption of the proposed millage rate of 1.9200 and approval of scheduled public hearings on September 8th, 2021 at 6:30 p.m., September 23rd, 2021 at 6:30 p.m. in the Village Meeting Hall. 6, approval and authorization for the mayor to execute the 6th addendum to the Law Enforcement Service Agreement by and between the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office and the Village of Royal Palm Beach. 7, approval of a special event permit for the Village of Royal Palm Beach to conduct a Shakespeare Festival at Royal Palm Beach Commons Park on Thursday, August 19th through Sunday, August 22nd, 2021, and Thursday, August 26th through August 29th, 2021, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. 8, adoption of resolution number 2112, resolution of the Village Council of the Village of Royal Palm Beach, Florida, adopting a revised schedule of fees and charges, specifically repealing resolution 2107, providing that this schedule of fees and charges shall be available for inspection at all times at the Village Hall during regular business hours, providing an effective date and for other purposes. And number 9, request to waive the $125 damage fee and $25 hourly rental rate by Boy Scout Troop of 111 at the Cultural Center. So.
Okay. Comments, members on council?
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'd like to pull consent agenda item number 4 and also number 9.
Okay. Any other comments?
Number 5, please.
Number 5? So we're pulling 4, 5, and 9. Is that correct? Okay. If there are no other comments on the consent agenda from members on council, I'll look for a motion for the remaining items.
Motion to approve the consent agenda items with the exception of, I believe it's 4, 5, and 9.
Second.
5 and 9, right.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have no opposed. Diane, please let the record show that agenda items with the consent agenda items with the exception of 4, 5, and 9 have been approved. And you're on, Jeff.
Okay, thank you. As the mayor just mentioned, of course, we're privileged to have with us Dr. Jesus Armas, the principal of Royal Palm Beach High School. I asked him to come and provide a little context for this consent agenda, but also to talk about the plans for the 25th anniversary of Royal Palm Beach High School this coming year. Dr. Armas?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. Thank you for having me. Jesus Armas, principal of Royal Palm Beach High School. I always get a little anxious when my item gets pulled, no matter what the circumstance. Yes, next school year is Royal Palm Beach High School's 25th anniversary. And so what we'd like to do is have a year-long celebration of the school and its history. We began by creating a 25th anniversary committee. They've been meeting since November. It has some community members, former teachers, current students, and they've been putting together an agenda of some ways that we can celebrate Royal Palm Beach High School. So far, they've unveiled a 25th anniversary logo. We also have determined that October 22nd will be homecoming, and so that'll be a big night. We hope to really make it homecoming like none other and really get the stadium filled. We may need to borrow parking in Willow Park, I'm hoping, right, if everything works right. We have other things that we have going on. They've created a Facebook page that right now has 2,300 people who are on it, former students, teachers. It's great to go on there. Look, I don't know how to get on it. I just follow the link that they sent me. But I know that, I mean, I guess whatever you do on Facebook, I don't have Facebook, you like, and it's 25th anniversary, right?
Oops.
I had her chase the Shakespeareans because our drama department does a great job with Shakespeare. And so we want to see how we can get in there and maybe have our kids volunteer and maybe get some of those actors. Our drama department does a great job with Shakespeare, not to digress. And so culminating event out of this year-long celebration, we want it to be, the committee wants it to be a banquet on March 12th, and we'd like to use it's on a Saturday, we'd like to use the Cultural Center as a culminating celebration of the 25th anniversary.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Any questions, comments for Principal Armour?
No,
Congratulations on the 25th anniversary.
Listen, how many of those 25 years have you been there, sir?
This one will be out 12 for me.
12.
This school year is 12 for me.
I just want to say that I remember the many years we passed, we didn't really have what we would call stability in terms of our leadership at that high school. But to have you there for the past 12 years has been tremendous. And I don't know if you're going to be there another 12 years because I'm hearing rumors that you might be considered as the new superintendent, but we won't go there.
Right. Yeah. That if you like me at all, you'll never talk about me and superintendent. That'd be the one job that I would not want. But no, I'm not going to get the 12 for sure more because I'm retiring before then, right?
Okay.
So that's
We'll take what we can get. Okay.
It's been a great 12 years, and I certainly appreciate the council and all the support that we've gotten. It really has been a great partnership, and it really has been a great 12 years. I tell people, I really like it there. I'm not exiled, right? and I do love Royal Palm Beach High School, the village, and certainly the high school. So thank you for your support.
Well, we're looking forward to a great celebration year long, like everything you guys do over there. Absolutely spectacular. So we'll be there for you however we can.
Appreciate it. Show up and let's celebrate. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
I just had a comment on this, though. So congratulations, Dr. Armis and the school. It is a testament. I just wanted noted for the record that we do have the grants available for our schools to use for this purpose.
Okay. Any further comments? No? The motion?
Yes, and I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to approve consent agenda item number 4.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have no opposed. Diane, please let the record show consent agenda item number 4 was approved, 5-0. And Jan, you're up for number 5.
Okay, so I went back and watched our budget hearing again, and I'm not sure, and Ray and Keith, you can correct me if this is the right place to bring it up or not. I'm not sure. We had a discussion under the discretionary funds 302 about the La Mancha extension. And I'd like to revisit that conversation, but I want to make sure this is the right place to do it.
Well, all you're doing tonight is setting
the
your
millage rate,
proposed millage rate. This is the number that will be sent out on your trim notices along with the date of the first public budget hearing. So you're really not, this is really not a budget. It's the millage side. It's not really the budget side. So I think if the discussion is about budget line item, that this is probably not the appropriate place to talk about.
So where's I need some advice on where's the appropriate place.
I add something to this? I mean, we did have a budget hearing just this last Wednesday, and I didn't know under Robert's rules if somebody bringing something up the next meeting, because staff, to get the documents right for September, if the council was giving us different direction, the sooner we got that, the better. So that when we do go to budget hearing, it doesn't change the millage rate because it's out of the capital budget, anything we do here. But it does change the capital budget, it does change that overall, and having those documents properly drafted for September 3rd is our preference. If we get the direction at September 3rd, we would obviously change the documents for September 28th or 23rd. So that would not be a problem. So I don't know if that's.
Well, let me put it this way. We're not going to go into that tonight. We're only going to do the millage, right? If you've got some questions, I suggest you talk with the village manager, and he'll let us know if we have to schedule another discussion, another session, or whatever it may be concerning the points that you raised. Okay? Okay?
Keith, is that the Robert's Rules way to do that?
Well, I think what Councilwoman was asking for is she wants to have the discussion on La Mancha Avenue again. There was no vote on it at the budget workshop.
No, we're not going to
There was
discuss
no
that
vote- there was
tonight. No,
there was no
we're not going to
vote on
discuss
it. It
La
was a
Mancha Avenue
discussion.
tonight. No, we're not going to do that tonight. If you want to make it a special item, talk to the village manager, and he will talk to me, and we'll get that item on the agenda at the appropriate time. But we're not going to do it tonight.
In terms of Robert's rules, I mean, if there was a motion and action taken, then there is a procedure to reconsider
We're
that.
not
But if-
opening the floor for any motions.
So, but
on that regard.
So it would not be appropriate because at the workshop it was discussion, but there was no motion to reconsider.
It was the
I have a
workshop.
question,
Go ahead.
if I could. Keith, isn't, I mean, what the issue Jan has, it's something with the budget. So wouldn't, I mean, I know it might cause problems for staff going down the line,
We
but
have
this
two
is
more-
something,
we have
right,
two
we're
more
gonna,
workshops
this
on
is
it.
something we
Yeah.
can discuss
Yeah.
at the next budget hearing, correct?
Correct.
There's nothing wrong. If we want to go in there and
No,
say,
that's the
take
purpose
this
of the
thing out,
hearings.
it's gone, we
That
can
is
do that
correct.
at the next one. Now,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sorry if it makes more
No.
problems for the,
I said we can
for the
we can
staff,
deal with
but
it
we
anyway.
can definitely, I mean, that's going to be what it is. I mean, if it
Right.
is more of a problem, it's just going to have to be that way.
And
But
Or-
we will be able to
or-
address it the next time.
Or if the council gives me direction tonight to put it on the August 17th meeting, then we can make it an agenda item on the, because only the mayor and myself can put something on the agenda, but if three
What-
council members tonight agree to put it on the August 17th one week, then
What
you
is
can
the
give me
item?
that direction
19th.
tonight.
I want clarity on what the item is that we would be putting on the agenda.
The item you would be putting on, I believe, is the discussion of the Madrid opening to State Road 7 as a potential right-in, right-out only.
All right.
Is that what it is, Jan? Oh,
is.
I thought it was just the La Mancha
Yeah, but,
budget.
we've
that
had
we
this
did.
conversation,
Okay,
and we
okay,
decided
okay.
that wasn't something we were going to do. So I don't know why you're
Well,
bringing
we
it up
didn't
again.
have, well,
Yes, we
we
did.
didn't have a conversation.
You're saying we didn't either.
We did not have a discussion about it is when we brought it up at the
Okay.
last meeting. So I think what it's just for clarification purposes is that if we do have that discussion and because it is an open forum, so if it is an agenda item on the August 19th, 17th, 19th,
19th,
August
I'm sorry.
19th meeting, is then it is a public forum to have it, which will then give staff enough time in September for the budget, and then we don't disrupt
I
that.
have no concern with us putting it on the agenda. If that's what the consensus is, we will do that. I just want to be clear on what we were putting on the agenda,
Yeah.
that's all.
Okay, cool.
Okay? All right, so the answer is yes. Put it on the next agenda.
Okay.
Which is August 19th. We got,
August
right,
19th.
Yes.
Diane?
Sometime in August.
Okay.
Thank you for putting it on the agenda. I will go ahead and approve
All right, getting back to the millage rate.
consent agenda number 5.
I second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We have no opposed. So Diane, please let the record show that consent agenda item number 5 was approved 5-0. Just to make a point, I was going to make this point before. Now that we've adopted this millage rate, we cannot raise it. We can only lower it for this coming fiscal year. So. All right, Jeff, I think you have
Yes, I do.
item number 9.
So I pulled item number 9 to recuse myself from the discussion and participation in this particular agenda item because it does deal with money and funding that can accrue, benefit that can accrue to not just Boy Scout Troop 111, but also the CAPSI. That is the chartering organization, since my wife Carolyn is a member of the CAPSI Board of Directors. So having talked to our village attorney. He indicated that I should recuse myself. I filled out the form, and so with your permission, I'm going to step away from it. And I'll
Permission
sit here.
granted. Okay.
There we go. And so I guess maybe before I step away, I need to make a motion to approve.
No, you can't.
No, you just.
We're right back where we started. Okay. Ray, you want to, go ahead, you had a question? Selena?
I just have a question then, because if it's that, should members of CAFSI recuse themselves?
Simply being a member is not sufficient. It's his spouse being on the board that creates the issue for Mr. Hamara.
But this is really not directly for CAFSI, it's for Troop 111. And Ray, you want to speak to us about this item?
Okay, I will. So we did get a request from Troop 111 to waive the damage fee and the $25 hour rental fee, and it's 2 hours a night, I believe, once a month for Boy Scout Troop 111. Boy Scout Troop 111 does rent one of the other rooms at the Cultural Center, has paid the damage fee. It's a deposit if they get it back at the end of their lease if there's no damage. And they do pay the $25 for 2 hours, $50 a month. The parents meet also during that period of time, and they would like to meet in one of the other rooms or adjacent rooms there with and not pay the damage fee and not pay the $25 an hour fee.
But that's it's only once a month.
It's once a month.
Okay.
It's once a month. This is a little unique situation. So what they want to do is they request to reserve and to utilize it. They do note in their letter that it's not busy, it's not rented on typically when they're there, so that shouldn't be an interference. And on our outdoor facilities, we allow people to utilize facilities without reserving them. But if someone has them reserved, then they have to step aside from the facility. I think in this particular case, since it's a Tuesday night, it's not that frequently used. We could modify if the council wishes to allow them to use this room without a fee. I think we should do it on the basis that they're not reserving it, but they get to utilize it if it's vacant. And we would just make some revisions to their existing lease as far as the parameters to this use. In their letter, they talk about how they participate at the Veterans and the Memorial Day events. They talk about all the other civic tasks that they do within the village of Royal Palm Beach. And their request is to use this without the cost. I think using it, like I said, typically we don't let our indoor spaces just be used by people walking in and wanting to use them. But since they're currently renting the other space, we can kind of associate it with that. So kind of the conditions would be that they're participating in our Veterans Day and our Memorial Day. They're currently renting a space, and they're in good standing. So I think with that, letting them use the room if somebody else doesn't have it rented, I don't see that as a problem.
There are a couple things. So I don't have an issue with this particular item. I think what you just said, though, is that you want to add on all the extracurricular things that they do in the village as a reason to waive this. And that's where I kind of have an issue, where I do have an issue. So I don't mind doing this as long as we make it available under these circumstances that groups that are in the village that rent the space, if they want to do this, we offer the waiver ability to them as well.
Well, it's not really like that. It's kind of the same as the Girl Scouts are doing at the sporting center. The Girl Scouts meet there once a month, and they don't pay anything to be there. But in the event that the facility is rented, then they wouldn't be able to use that space. So you're not guaranteeing the space. The money is to guarantee the space, and so I see it more the same as that.
Well, the other thing is the sporting complex that space is utilized outside, not inside.
All right, let me.
Not to go pull hairs into. I'm just saying I have no problem with this as long as the waiver is available for
No, the precedent
others.
that I believe we should follow on this is the same precedent that we did for the Veterans of Foreign War. Is that what they're called?
VFW, yeah.
VSW. They service to the village, and because of that, we made an agreement that we let them use that space to have their meetings. All right, as a grant. They don't pay for it. So it's under that same scenario that I see this applying. And by the way, Troop 111 does much more than those 2 events a year. There's about 3 or 4 events, 5 events a year. Whenever we need a flag ceremony, they step up, and this is not new. They've been doing this for I don't know how many years. All right. So it was under the precedent that we established when we handled the situation for the veterans of foreign wars that I think this applies. And what we're talking about is organization, in this case, Troop 111, that is providing, contributing to events that are for the citizens of this village. And so on that grounds, the same way that the veterans of foreign wars are doing that, I think this would apply. I think the way the village manager has laid it out makes sense. It's logical, and we should do it on the basis of how you recommended it.
Well, that's why, like I said, I have no problem with this as long as the organizations within the village that provide a service to the village and the residents can also
We can
have the waiver.
demonstrate that they're providing a true service to the village and the residents. The same precedent should apply. Okay, it's on the record.
And my original thought is, that this is an aberration. This isn't something the village typically does. We don't, especially on an indoor space, say, okay, we're going to let you have, pretty much scheduled access to a certain room at a certain time for free. And the only time I'm aware that we did it, as the mayor pointed out, was with the VFW folks. However, the VFW folks also entered into an agreement. The village is basically, I'll call it compensation. Getting compensation back in the fact that not only is the VFW going to appear at our Veterans Memorial Day services, but they're pretty much running them now, or in charge of it, however you want to say, with the village. Okay, I won't go there. But the bottom line is, yes, they're technically getting something for free, but they are providing a service. Yeah. So in this situation, I can see, because the Boy Scouts have been there, as the mayor pointed out, for a whole bunch of things, and they typically do come to the Memorial Day and the Veterans Day services. So instead of having somewhere, if the Boy Scouts decide they don't want to go, they won't go. I want something that says, okay, they don't have that option now. They're getting a free room. They have to go, just like the veterans of the foreign wars have to show up at our events. So an obligation from them, from an obligation from us, and then the second one, as the manager pointed out, if, for example, I wanted to go rent room X on this night, and that's the free night they've got, I trump that right. They don't have a right to trump, basically paying customers. And I think that's a reasonable way to address the situation, in my mind. I don't know.
So you're saying if the opportunity for the space to be rented is there, then
correct. It's not going to be exclusive to the world. If they're going to still have their regular meeting and the other room is available to them, but if someone else wants to rent that other room on that night, it's not going to be available to them.
That's pretty much what the village manager.
Yeah, basically that's what I'm saying. Right.
And we do have 4 rooms.
I was going to say there are 2 other rooms available on Tuesday nights as well. So
I just clarification. The VFW, is it a reserved space that they know that they get that room? Yeah. It's reserved for them.
Yes.
And I believe we have them at the rec center, meeting at the rec center.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you have an organization that participates. I agree. They do show up. But I like the idea that Richard presented of having a written agreement that says, if we're going to provide you with a space, then outline the places or the times you're going to participate.
If we're going to do, what kind of agreement do we have in place with the Veterans of Foreign Wars?
We have a rental agreement with them now that we can modify to include these conditions.
So there's something we can
Yes.
put in place. Okay. Is there a representative here who would like to make comments or not? No comments means that you're okay with what we're proposing?
My name is Lori Cabrera. I'm the committee chair from Troop 111. And, okay, sorry. And I would like to have the opportunity to discuss that particular proposal with
Okay.
the rest of the committee. I don't want to just speak for,
Okay.
all the parents at this time. So if that would be okay, I'd really appreciate that.
And just to clarify, the alternative to that proposal would be you can still use the room if it's available, and if it's not, then it's not. Is that the alternative? If there's no written agreement, that's what I'm.
I think because there's other space in the cultural center to meet. So if all four rooms are
Exactly.
taken and the ballroom's taken, there is the lobby area, there is other space in there. So it's just, right. Yeah. If the opportunity to rent it is there, there's still room in the building where they can
Right.
wait.
I had asked about the lobby area, and I was told it really was not intended as a meeting space per se, and it doesn't really have a lot of seating. So, I mean,
Is Lou on the line? He is. I just wanted to know really how much activity is going on Tuesday nights regarding that quad.
Right, but you're also talking today. You're not talking next year when who knows what's
Okay,
going to happen. So
I-
whatever we put in place, it's. Yeah.
But Lou knows the history.
Lou's microphone's on. Can you hear us, Lou?
Yeah, what's the question, Mayor?
Yeah, what's been the activity level overall for the quad, those 4 meeting rooms in the back on Tuesday nights?
It's very slow. I mean, I know we're coming off the pandemic, but if one room isn't open, I'm sure one of the other 2 will be open.
Okay.
I don't see an issue. I really don't see an issue.
All right, so where we're leaving is you want to, thanks Lou, you want to speak with the committee and make sure that they're comfortable, but at a minimum, we got to approve something tonight.
Well, and this is so. Can we approve it with that condition? And if they're okay with it, then we can go forward. So at least this way, it's on there. And if the board is accepting of it, then it's already in place.
You can either move this to your next agenda as a time certain item, or if you want to approve it conditionally, we just need to be clear on what the
I'd
conditions
rather
are.
we approve it, at least, if not anything, at least conditionally tonight, if we have to do that, rather than move to the next agenda, because there's a timeline in place when their next meeting where the parents are going to be showing up.
And yes, as long as we just need the conditions to be articulated clearly so that we
So-
all understand what they are.
Who wants to articulate?
And I think perhaps it's we've talked generally about appearing at certain events. I think if we can get what are the specific events that you had in mind
Okay.
to attach to that, I think really is the only thing that's not clear in my mind based
Well,
on
for
the
me, it's
discussion.
Veteran and Memorial Day.
It's not just, it's Martin Luther King Day, it's the, was it?
Well, they appeared at a lot of those, but my thought is,
Yeah, I'm saying, whenever they
should they
handle-
be required? And I'm
they handle
thinking not
all-
on the requirement
They handle
side.
all of our flag ceremonies. How many years? In this document.
Though also is that do it because if there are other.
Oh, there. Let's not.
Well, so what you're doing now. Right. Exactly.
I need a motion.
I mean, in my mind, kind of like with the day. So anything outside, people can have different opinions. Come and provide for those two events, or contingent on them. Number 3, that room that's going to whatever room.
Once a month. Laura, you can sit down.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for all that you do with the village.
We're getting there.
What was the last one, Selena?
Once a
That
month.
you just mentioned once a month. But we're just talking
Let's
about
not
one
make it-
one
yeah. Let's
date
not
at a
make
month.
it-
Okay, so I will make a motion to approve consent agenda item 9 with the following provisions. Number one, that the applicant, if I call them that, the Boy Scouts, have a room rented or continue with the room they have rented. Number two, and this is subject to them coming back and having approval of the Boy Scouts providing, flag services and assisting with our Veterans and Memorial Day ceremonies. They have the access to the room one time a month at the same time that they're having their monthly meeting. And if we have a paying customer, someone wants to pay to rent the certain room, that's going to trump the ability to have that room for free.
Is that okay?
That would be the motion, and we'd amend the existing lease agreement with those conditions. That's fine from my chair, yes.
All right, so we got a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We have no opposed. Diane, please let the record show that the conditional motion was approved 4-0.
And I
Jeff,
think the
please
direction
join us.
the direction to the applicant, if that's okay with their group, to just get with Lou, we'll modify the agreement and just get it in place. It doesn't have to come back here.
Okay. Thank you. I'll wait for Jeff to get up here before we proceed. All right, so I believe that completes our consent agenda. Okay. Moving on to our regular agenda tonight, agenda item R1 is a public hearing for the second reading and adoption of ordinance number 1015 and approval of application number 20-112, an application by Jessar Sarata Maria and Nagal Family Limited Partnership, Rupp K. Legal, and Roy and Kishore. The applicant is seeking the zoning of 4 parcels of land totaling approximately 12.28 acres of land from the village's general commercial zoning designation to the village's RM9 multifamily residential zoning designation. It's located about approximately 850 feet north of Okeechobee Boulevard and approximately 500 feet west of Royal Palm Beach Boulevard. And with that, Bradford, are you out there?
Yes, he is.
Yes, sir, I am. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, if I could swear him in before he begins. This is
I'm sorry.
quasi-judicial.
This
Thank you,
is a
sir.
quasi-judicial process. Please do.
Thank you, sir. And Ray, do we also have the applicants on the computer? Oh, perfect. Can you approach the podium? I'll swear you in as well. Bradford, can you raise your right hand for me? Can you state your name for the record?
Yes, ma'am.
Lindsay Lippis with WGI.
Thank you so much. This is quasi-judicial. Do you both swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
I do.
Thank you, Bradford. I'll turn back to the council and ask if there are any ex parte disclosures that need to be disclosed with regard to this item 20-112.
None.
Just the manager, yeah.
Staff.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. This is an application for rezoning of 4 parcels of land totaling approximately of land from the village's general commercial zoning designation to the village's RM9 multifamily residential zoning designation. This site is currently vacant land. The applicant has indicated in their justification statement that the ultimate goal is to develop the property for 100 townhouse dwelling units, a proposed density of 8.14 acres. In reviewing the proposed rezoning of the parcels to the village's RM9 multifamily residential zoning district, village staff considered compatibility with adjacent land uses, consistency with the village's comprehensive plan, in conformance with the RM9 multifamily residential development standards in section 2684, specifically as it relates to parcel size, parcel width, setbacks, and pervious area. The local planning agency considered the application on May 25th, 2021 and recommended approval by a vote of 5-0. Village Council considered this application on first reading on June 17th, 2021 and recommended approval by a vote of 5-0. Staff is recommending approval of this application. With that being said, on the second reading, with that being said, Mayor, I'll turn the floor back over to you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Bradford. Do we have any advance comments from the public on this agenda item? I have no comment cards submitted this evening. Is anyone here who would like to comment on this agenda item? Okay. Do we have anybody raising their hand out there?
No, we do not, Mayor.
All right, so with that, I will close public comment on this agenda item. Are there any comments? If none from the council, I'll look for a motion.
Motion to approve regular agenda item R1.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There's no opposed. Diane, please let the record show that agenda item R1 was approved 5-0 in its second reading. All right, agenda item R2 is also a public hearing. This is the first reading and approval of ordinance number 1019, an application 21-09, an application by Nelson Fasada regarding a zoning text amendment to chapter 26 of the village's zoning code to add a definition for the term birthing center and allow birthing center as a special exception use in the office commercial zoning district. This is a quasi-judicial hearing. So, Maddie, I'd like to take it.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Posada, if you could approach the podium and state your name for the record, please.
Nelson Posada.
Thank you, sir. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, sir. I'll turn back to the council and ask if there are any ex parte disclosures on application 21-09.
Manager.
Thank you.
Okay. Bradford, you're up. Hello.
He's
Is he muted?
no, he's not muted. It's not general commercial zoning district. It's the office. So I'm sure he's looking at that.
Okay, it says use of the office commercial.
Yeah.
That is
Go ahead,
Scribner-
Bradford.
Scribner error?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. The applicant is proposing an amendment to the village's zoning code, chapter 26, to allow birthing centers as special exception uses in the office zoning districts. Yes, that is a Scrivener's error. I apologize. Within the village, add the definition for the term birthing center to section 2622. Add birthing centers to the list of special exception uses in the office zoning district. I'm going to read the definition that they are proposing and that we've worked with them to formulate, because I believe that there are some key elements to have considered. Okay, so the definition is birthing publicly or private institution constructed or otherwise established where non-emergency births are planned to occur away from the mother's usual residence following a documented period of prenatal care for a normal, uncomplicated pregnancy, which has been determined to be low risk through a formal risk scoring examination. Care provided in a birthing center shall be provided by a licensed physician or certified nurse midwife or a licensed midwife. Services provided in a birthing center shall be limited to the following manner. Surgical services shall be limited to those normally performed during uncomplicated childbirth, such as episiotomy and repair, and shall not include operative obstetrics or cesarean C-sections. Labor shall not be inhibited, stimulated, or augmented with chemical agents during the first or second stage of labor. Systemic anesthesia may be administered, and local anesthesia for the dental block and episiotomy repair may be performed. General and conducted anesthesia shall not be administered at birthing centers. Patients shall not remain in the facility in excess of 24 hours, and hospitals are excluded from the definition of a birthing center. The local planning agency considered this application on June 29th, 2021, and recommended approval by a vote of 4-1 with alternate Gerald Brown dissenting, and staff is recommending approval of this application. Aaron, I'll turn the floor back over to you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Bradford. Does the applicant want to make any comments, or are you satisfied with the presentation provided? Good? Okay. Do you have any advanced public comments on this item?
No comments, Mayor.
Do you have any raised hands?
No, Mayor.
Okay. I have no comment card submitted here. Is anyone here who'd like to comment on this agenda item? Seeing none, I'm closing public comment on agenda item R2. Comments from members on council?
I just have a couple, if you don't mind, Mr. Posada. Just, and it was a great presentation, so I understand all that. I know it is low risk. So one thing we talked about is, just for clarification, you will not induce labor, or you won't induce labor if somebody comes in. It all has to be natural. Okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry. They're two quick questions. I know.
No problem.
Sorry.
No. Yes, it is all natural. We will not induce.
Okay, and then in the event that there is a complication, you do partner with a hospital or anything. So if one of the moms starts to hemorrhage, or if there's something like that, or are you equipped to do that there?
That's correct, yes. So what we do is we have contracts with Palms West Hospital, and our providers, our medical providers, are all contracted with the hospital. In the event of the low risk having complications, we will transport. And this center was specifically, we actually studied our locations really well to try to pick the right spot. And this being that the fire station is right here, hospital is just down the street. I mean, it was just like perfectly located.
Thank you.
Okay, Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, just wondering, is there a certification that a birthing center has to go through in order to get or demonstrate that they meet certain specific requirements to do what you're doing?
Okay, yes. So the birthing center model does not, because the physicians they're medical doctors. So there are physicians that are contracted through the state. They have their medical license through the state agencies. Midwives or mid-levels also are contracted through the state. So the actual birth center model does not. We are classified in the state as a medical facility. This process that we're going through is, I guess, additional layers of protection for Royal Palm, because really every other entity that's considered a birth center has not gone through these processes. It's always been through like opening up a regular medical clinic or regular medical facility. So that's who all of the other birthing centers that exist, even in Palm Beach, they've just gone through the regular medical facility and have not required additional certifications of any kind.
Okay, but you are pursuing some model certification? Is that what you were just suggesting for a birthing center?
No.
Since there doesn't exist such a thing right now, is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
All right. And then the other question I have is to Bradford, and it is we often, when we look to create or modify ordinances to accomplish something new, we look to other models, other cities, other municipalities. Did we do that in this particular case? And if so, where did we get the model from?
That's a question for Bradford.
Bradford.
Yes, sir. Yes. I think that, Mitty, correct me if I'm wrong, we wanted to create this definition. There wasn't any other model to follow. We created this definition to what we felt would be the best for the Village of Royal Palm Beach. We create regulations to regulate these types of uses as they emerge. And we felt like we created a definition that excluded certain uses, like this doesn't include a hospital. We didn't want extended stays within these centers. And that's kind of how we came up with this definition. And Minnie, please expand on that if you'd like.
He's absolutely correct. We did consult with other definitions. We also consulted with what I call his planning Bible, which defines many terms that your village code doesn't define, so that there was no ambiguity in what actually constitutes a birthing center. That was the fear, that if we didn't put parameters around what exactly a birthing center is, it's different than a normal surgical center. So the concern was they're doing something that's, I'll say niche just for lack of a better term, but so that we were clear about what exactly a birthing center is and what it's not in your code. So that in the future, if anybody else would want to come into this zoning district and do that same use, we would be very clear about what could be done there and what could not be done there.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I do have a question. Do you have other birthing centers in Palm Beach County already existing?
No, we have OBGYN centers, but not birthing centers.
I was going to say, so this takes it all the way to the end.
That's right.
Almost.
Well,
Almost from start to finish.
yeah, well, yeah, beyond, right?
You just pass the ball.
They're catchers.
You have any further questions from members of the council? No? If none, I'll look for a motion.
I make a motion to approve regular agenda item number 2.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? If no opposed, Diane, please let the record show that agenda item R2 was approved 5-0. Okay, that was the first reading. You'll be back for the second reading. Okay.
It'll be less painful.
Whoa! I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay. Agenda item R3 is a public hearing to consider application number 21-29. The applicant is seeking architectural approval for the Village Royal Bridge on Tuttle Boulevard over the C-51 Canal located south of Southern Boulevard, approximately 3,500 feet east of State Road 7. This is also a quasi-judicial hearing, so we need to have some folks sworn in.
Approach the podium, sir. Thank you. Can you state your name for the record?
Joan Machado.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear from to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, sir?
I do.
Thank you. I'll turn back to the council and ask if there are any ex parte disclosures for application 21-29.
Mr. Manager.
Step. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Bradford, you're on.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. The applicant is requesting architectural approval for the Village Royale Bridge on Tuttle Boulevard over the C-51 Canal. The bridge is located south of Southern Boulevard, approximately 3,500 feet east of State Road 7. The applicant is proposing carriage-style light fixtures, both pier-mounted and pole-mounted. All walls and columns will be Class 5 finish in Sherwin-Williams Marshmallow SW7001. An ornamental aluminum railing with bronze finish will also be included and lay atop the walls, along with tiles on certain areas of the walls, as you can see here, the lightings and the tiles. This slide illustrates the decorative brick paver pattern, which from above is designed to emulate palm fronds with a green and a lighter green. The Planning and Zoning Commission considered this application at their June 29th, 2021 meeting and recommended approval by a vote of 5-0. Staff is recommending approval with a condition of approval to require the applicant to obtain a South Florida Water Management District permit modification in order to make the South Florida Water Management District's approval plans consistent with the village's approved plans. In the event the South Florida Water Management District denies the permit modification reflecting the proposed changes, the applicant shall apply for a modification of engineering permit 17-37 to ensure consistency with the South Florida Water Management District's approved plans. With that being said, Mayor, I'll turn the floor over to you. Thank you.
Hey, Bradford, what's up? Put that picture back up. I'm not sure what I was looking at.
It is designed to emulate palm fronds.
So this is going to be on the sides of the bridges, or
No, sir. This is
on the ground?
This is the brick pavers that you'll drive over.
These are the pavers that you were telling me about?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Are they colored pavers or they paint?
Yeah. Why is it black and white here?
They are color. They didn't provide us with a color rendering, and I do apologize for that on their behalf. But they aren't painted pavers. They are dyed pavers. These pavers have been dyed these colors, so when they're in place, the dye is not painted.
So I understand it now. So this is looking at the bridge.
An aerial
heading
view.
East, right?
Yes.
From above.
And I see the arrows is where directions for the cars. Okay, I got it.
Right.
All right. Thanks, Bradford.
You're welcome.
So, no skid marks, please.
So do you know what the colors are? Did I miss that?
Dark green and light green.
Say
It is green and light green, as it
Dark green and
exists
light
today. If you've driven by there.
Okay.
Can we? We'll get a chance to comment on the colors. Let me. Diane, do we have any advanced public comments on this agenda item?
No, Mayor.
Okay. Anyone, Ray, have their hands raised on this agenda item?
No, Mayor.
All right, I have no comment cards submitted, and if anyone here would like to comment from the public, now would be the time. No? Okay. Therefore, I'm closing public comment on this agenda item and opening it up for comments from members of council. So you want to continue the conversation about color?
As I'm sitting here thinking, well, green, palm fronds. All right, I get it. I think I'm done.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes?
Bradford, I'm so sorry I didn't ask you this in advance, but how is this different from what was previously approved?
Good question.
It's been so long.
You had hair back then, I think.
Yes, I can't answer that question. I'm sorry.
I can answer that question.
Thanks.
So as it relates to the sides of the bridge, not a whole lot different. They did have stucco originally. Now they've just smoothed it and they're painting it, so it's actually less maintenance without the stucco, and can't tell the difference from State Road 80. The brick pavers that were in the approved plans are the clay brick, the red clay brick that we use everywhere, and that's why this is actually before you, because we did require a bond for Phase 1 improvements, and we're in the process of getting Phase 1 completed or using the bond. And if this wasn't approved this way, then we would have to take those bricks out, use the bond to put the red bricks in. And that's really the only difference, is mostly the bricks.
So it's just
the
the
lighting has changed slightly, but only to get the photometrics more correct.
But the lighting that we use, so the carriage lanterns that they're putting on the bridge are the same ones that are throughout the complex, because the image that was there was the one on the marquee sign.
What they showed on the bridge, the lower light on the arched one, that was on the original approval, and the taller ones were on the original approval. Like I said, the height changed a little bit and the light fixture changed a little bit, only to improve the photometrics, but they're not a significant difference. The reason they started down this path was at one time they had a grandiose idea to have a very elaborate bridge with aluminum cutouts, set off the bridge with LEDs behind it that could all change colors and everything.
Yes.
And they abandoned that idea, and now they're left kind of in the middle here, and they needed to get the bricks approved, the new bricks approved, or we would have had to install the other ones with the bond. Correct, Bradford?
No, go ahead.
All right, so I'm looking to our Art in Public Places council member here and saying, what do you think?
Well, the original design was grandiose, and it was beautiful, but it was an idea, I think.
It never got approved. It was a concept. He never brought it through the process.
Yeah.
How about this?
It's lovely. I mean, I think that the sides of the bridge are fine. I wonder over time, and luckily the bridge is not that big, and so it feels like if you've seen downtown that they called it street tattooing. I don't know how long that dyed color will last. Will it have to be refurbished in 5-10 years? I don't know.
I think those are you're referring to the pavers on the ground. I think those are mixed in when they do the concrete, right? Or when they do the pavers themselves.
It's not painted on. That's
It's
the
not
color.
painted on. No, but I think when they make the brick itself, that's the color that's put in there. So it is.
So when they make the concrete bricks, they are the dye is mixed in with the concrete. But concrete pavers, the cement that's in the concrete is white. So as that surface kind of wears and the concrete shows, that's the fading that you see.
Yeah.
That's why we use the red clay bricks, because clay is red, and when it never changes color ever.
Yeah.
But you like the design from an artistic point of view. This looks.
I mean, I think the aesthetics are lovely. It's not going to be, some sculpture that people are going to stop and go, wow, the bridge is an art element.
Have something to look at.
And it doesn't
But-
qualify for any public art in public places.
Right.
It does not.
Going after that. I was just going
Yeah,
after
but
what do you think?
I think the design's fine.
didn't give the applicant an opportunity, but would you like to make comments, sir? Do we have enough information, or do you want to?
I'm good.
I'm good.
We're good?
I make a motion to approve regular agenda item number 3.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We have no opposed. Diane, please let the record show that agenda item R3 in the colors were approved 5-0 for our bridge. That is our bridge. Everyone knows that, right? The village owns that bridge now. Okay. So with that, we have no other items on the agenda this evening.
Mr. Mayor, if I could,
Question? Go ahead.
I just having a flashback from over a decade ago, but I should have brought this up earlier. We did say we were going to do something on the next agenda involving La Mancha, correct?
Yes, it's going to be on the next agenda.
Okay, and I remember
Well, I was going to.
you were the only one who I think was
I
on
was- I
council,
lived through
Fred,
that, yeah.
and this building, if anything, if that is any indication of what we may be involved with, we might want to look into having it at a greater sized agenda, because I mean, we had the kids here tonight and it was, standing room only spilling out, and plus, if we want social distancing, we might want to consider the idea of the cultural center or someone else, because I do remember sitting there when you were on council and it was packed and everyone was there. Okay, so Selena was there too.
We will consider that. We'll be talking to the village manager about that.
I just forgot about it when Jan mentioned it. I was like,
That's one of the primary
oh.
reasons that this is not a subject we should just decide tonight. Let's start talking about it. We need to give notice to the public if we're going to have this review, so they can have an opportunity to come and comment. And as you know, we had a lot of comment. And if we believe, that we need to move move the next meeting to the cultural center, that's what we'll do. If we have overflow, I mean, we will address it. But your point, that was the reason why I said we can't just go into this. Put it on the next agenda. We got enough time. Let the public know about it. Get the word out there, and the village manager will brief all of you to bring you all up to date with the studies that was done and what the numbers are and what the impacts are. The only thing I will ask is that as we put this on the agenda item, I want to make sure we don't limit ourselves to options. One option is open it up both ways. Another option is open it up for exit only. All right. So I want that if we're going to have this discussion.
We're talking Madrid.
That's what we're talking about, the Madrid. Yeah, that's one of the options that we should have that we could make a decision on. Okay. Any other questions? Okay.
I thought we were only talking about potentially right in, right out only, not a full intersection.
As far as I'm concerned, that's what we're talking about. But I don't know what other members, what's the minds of the other council members. I can only go by what's on my mind.
Well, though it's important and
impact
and
on the
impacts
neighborhood to me
and
was
how the public may respond.
That's why I want you to make sure that you brief thoroughly each of the council members individually. In agreement on what?
Right in,
Are
right out.
all options open, or are we just thinking about
Right in, right out.
I would say right in. She wants all. You want all options. Okay, so you're
South
on right out only. I just want to make sure everyone is thoroughly or not, whatever they are, fully prepared. Okay. Thank you all. When is the 17th?